I think yes, we have narrator 4 guesses. Narrator 6 is left. Could you take narrator 6? Richuku, could you please rename yourself as narrator 5? Can you rename yourself?
Oh, sure. Okay.
Okay, so we have 5, 3, 4. We have 1 and 2 and 3. No, it's only 6. Who would like to do 6? 1?
Come on, guys.
I can do, Tracy, I will do 6 because you have to scroll up and down. So I'll do 6 for the new starters.
All right.
Okay. So what you have to do is just read the script that is for you. Nothing else for now, really. Okay. So, a celebration of today's women, a script by Tracy Hanson and Georgia Maneta. Oh, okay, narrator 1, you start.
Okay. There are so many famous women from history.
Oh, really? Like who, for example?
Well, Joan of Arc was one. She was just 17 when she led the France to a successful victory at Worms.
Yeah, but look what happened to her. She was burned at the stake at 19.
True, but she was cleared of those crimes 20 years later, and is now the patron saint of France and a symbol of national pride.
What about Isabella Free? She was born a slave, but escaped to freedom and became one of the most noted African American speakers of civil rights and abolition.
She can't be all that famous. I have never heard of her.
You are such a prude. We know her as Sojourner Truth. She changed her name to reflect her new freedom, religious devotion, and her acceptance of the Methodist religion.
She was very active in supporting women's rights, religious tolerance, pacifism, and prison reform.
And in 1851, she delivered a speech called "And I a Woman?"
Okay, so who else?
What about Clara Barton? She was a nurse during the Civil War and founder president of the American Red Cross Society.
She was also a supporter of human suffrage and broke many gender barriers during her lifetime.
Florence Nightingale was another nurse of note. Back in the mid-1800s, nursing was not looked at a decent job, but it was her passion, so she volunteered in hospitals.
Then the Caribbean War broke out in 1954. Britain, France, and Turkey started a war with Russia. England suffered many casualties, and the mortality rate was very high.
That is when Florence took 38 nurses into the British military camps, where there were no proper medical facilities and deplorable, and the other nurses cleaned the environment, provided medical equipment, clean water, and fruits to the injured soldiers. This brought the mortality rate from 60% to 2.2%.
She is considered the founder of modern professional nursing.
Oops.
I'm sure you have heard of Mercury. She is the Polish scientist and the first woman to be awarded the Nobel Prize in Physics for research into radioactivity and shortly after in chemistry.
And you have her to thank for helping to develop the first X-ray machine.
That's true. I had to go to the doctor's last week to get my leg x-rayed.
One of my personal favorites is Helen Keller. She became deaf and blind at the age of 19 months. She proved that you don't have to be disabled because you have a disability and campaigned on behalf of deaf and blind people.
But when you talk about Helen Keller, you have to also talk about Annie Sullivan. She is a young teacher the family hired when Helen was 7. She used a system involving constant physical contact and a touch alphabet that she spelled into Helen's hand. It was her persistence, faith, and love that really changed Helen's life.
Guess that says something about teaching, doesn't it? We can overcome many obstacles when we have people who believe in us.
Speaking of teaching and education, we should not forget Maria Montessori and her work on educating children by stimulating their natural curiosity. Her materials and philosophy are widely accepted and still used around the world, even today.
We certainly could use someone like Rachel Carson today. She wrote a book called Silent Spring that warned us of the dangers of using DDT and chemical pesticides to our environment.
It was her work that began the contemporary environmental movement.
Didn't do us much good though. Look at the mess our global environment is in.
Greta Thunberg is 20 and she was only 10 when she started her environmental campaign. She was a young schoolgirl from Sweden and has already become a global leader in environmental issues.
That's true. Greta has spoken at events all over the world and is leading protests against global warming. She puts us to shame when she talks of the environmental crisis we're facing.
And speaking of being able to overcome disabilities, Greta was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome.
Do you want to know about another kind of people's disability, especially men's, where people sometimes, even today, seem unable to believe that good looks and intelligence go hand in hand, but Hedy Lamarr proves them wrong.
Number
Shuko? Number 4, sorry. Number 4? Narrator 4? Okay, so may lost, I think it was me.
Oh,
Okay. Oh,
muted.
oh yes. Is he there?
No, do you want me to read 4?
Yes, please.
Oh, yes. Hedy Lamarr was a really beautiful and talented actress from Sweden. However, it was only this year that I learned that she was the one who thought of a secret communication system and laid the foundation for the GPS, Wi-Fi, and Bluetooth, things we consider advanced today.
Women, they never stop surprising you, no matter how old or young they are.
Right. Another young girl making a difference is Malala Isobje, a young girl from Pakistan who believed in girls' right to education and was brave enough to stand up to the Taliban.
Didn't I read that she had been shot in the head by the Taliban and survived?
Yes, and now she has become a global advocate for women's rights, especially the right to education.
It takes a lot of courage to stand up for what you believe in, regardless of the consequences.
like Rosa Parks, who on December 1st, 1955, refused to give up her seat on a bus in Montgomery, Alabama. In those days, blacks had to sit at the back of the bus or stop if white people wanted their seat.
That action led to significant civil rights legislation.
It also took a lot of courage and training for Christa Mcluffy to become an astronaut. She was first private citizen passenger in the history of space flight and the first teacher.
I remember when Vice President George S.W. Bush announced her selection from over 11,000 candidates. Everyone in New Hampshire was very excited. Our school children sent her many questions and ex- experiments to do while she was in space. We all watched in eager anticipation as the Challenger space shuttle lifted off from the Kennedy Space Center in Cape Canaveral, Florida.
You were all exploded?
Yeah, at first we could not comprehend what had happened. All seven of the crew members were killed, and the nation went into mourning. A planetarium in Concord was named after her, and it has become a yearly educational field trip. So her memory and teaching will go on for many generations to come.
I know we could go on and on about famous women in history. We have only talked about a few, but I think we should celebrate all women for whatever they are famous to all or only to their family. They are important and make a difference in all our life.
Well, I guess you have proved your point, and you know what they say. Behind every great man is a great woman.
That's an outdated saying. I think that women are powerful and able to lead from the front. Does not anyone wonder that perhaps behind all these famous women, where is a man?
Perhaps. Still, a woman is a multitasking person. She can be a mother, a manager, and a cook at the same time, as well as a fighter for her family and country. No matter what people believe, women are a great combination of sensitivity, intelligence, and strength.
And now I can finally say that I do understand the importance of International Women's Day.
The end.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yay.
Nice job. Nice reading. So, what did you think? Talk about what you thought with the script and how it made you feel, huh? Whether you're a male or female. What did you think?
In this script, we can learn about a lot of women who actually have contribution uh, in our basic life or modern life, you can say, in science and technology and medical science. That's so great. We can learn about them by this passage or by this story.
That's right, Nazifa. Anybody else?
Yeah, it can be a nice way, very good way of teaching about the a biography or like great peoples in class, and they'll enjoy and learn so many things.
And remember, when you saw the blues in the script, those are all hot linked, so that the group and the readers can explore. They can maybe pick one of the ones that was most interesting to them and explore that, and then bring it back to the group, and then maybe even find others that they think they would like to see added into the script so that it builds and grows. Right?
I have a question for the male attendees. There was a quote in the script that said that maybe behind a great woman there is a man. We usually say that behind a strong man, a successful man, there is a woman. What about behind a strong woman, an inspirational woman? Is there a man or not?
Is it their family?
Could be family. Not a man only, you think, Nazifa?
Only, yes.
Not a man only. Okay, family for a woman, for a strong woman. Anyone else?
Yeah.
Their spirit?
Yes. Yes. Behind every successful man, there's a woman. And behind every successful woman, there's plenty of people, women and men. That's what it is.
So you think that behind every woman there are more than one man needed? More people?
Yes, I mean, they support them because a woman is a precious gift. Everyone likes them and they want to support them achieve their dream. That's what I think.
Good. Thank you. Any other ideas?
Okay.
Okay, just go on.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, what I think is there was time when the saying behind every successful man there is a woman was right, because women were confined inside the homes, and only men were going outside and their work was seen, and we could see the women supporting them to make them successful. And today the situation are changing now. Both they are going outside, so if a man is successful there is woman behind him, and if a woman is successful and there is man behind her. And it means with the support of one another, one can be successful, whether it's a man being successful or woman being successful. It's by the joint effort of both, let's say, our husband and wife, or male and female, or man and woman. So it's possible. So we need to understand this and go ahead. There is no any competition, but it's collaboration and supporting each other. It's something like that.
True.
I like that. I like that. So maybe the man and woman, instead of one being behind the other, walk hand in hand.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So true. Yeah.
Why does anybody have to be behind anybody else, rather than to be together and to go forward hand in hand? Raman?
Hello, everyone. Pleased to see the discussion going on here in the room. Very happy to be back to this Scrabble world after a long time indeed. I really appreciate what Deepak sir has come up with the idea. It's all about the collaborations. I think the discussion about the contribution of a man behind the success of a woman, or the contribution of a woman behind the success of a man, or vice versa. No? This is all a kind of bogus issue. No? What I think is, now we need to think of it in a broader form. What I believe is the entire family or a community that has a significant role in making a person a big success. Just for example, if your kids do not support you, then neither the man or neither the dad or the mom can become a success. No, and now I think in my personal life, I owe my success even to my kids and my parents. Not just that, like behind my success or my achievements, there is my better half. more than that, there are some other issues too. So hopefully this way we can be making the kind of wider discussions, thinking critically onto the, going beyond the traditional mindset. Thank you very much. Back to you. And something that I love a lot about today's discussion is what I have noticed is you people ran the session not the way we call the sage on the stage. One panelist comes with the kind of PowerPoint presentations and goes on speaking for 10-15 minutes. Then that person's time is gone. The other person comes, and at last, any questions? Nobody makes the question. So you people have revolutionized the way we have been observing the presentations. What you did is you did a kind of collaborative classroom practice, participatory classroom practice, where you try to bring together the participants, and here everyone was a panelist. Okay, whosoever had been able to jump into the room was a panelist, and all the people discussed about the things. So whosoever read it happened to get the stories of the successful woman in depth. And something that I like a lot is about you did not just bring the stories about the women in the past, like Florence Nightingale's now, but you also talked about Greta, and you try to bring the stories of the women or the girls, the women from different walks of life. That is something what I appreciate a lot. Hats up to the team.
Thank you. Thank you. That's very nice.
Thank you. I have another question now that we started and I see the discussion going on. And you mentioned that there is not only a man or a woman behind a successful other, let's say, but the whole family. And someone suggested, John, and I'm saying this for you, that why do we say behind and not side by side or walk in hand? And now I have a question. When do you think that this saying that behind the successful man, there is always a woman hiding? When did this start being said? How long ago was it? And why did we start saying this?
I like to say something about that. I think it predates history, because when you look at the history of man, it talks about when they define a man, they're talking about a woman. They say when they say a man, they're talking to a woman. But when you talk to a woman, you're talking about a woman. So a man means a human being, okay? So, and that is the patriarch make a man a dominating species. So it predates history, if I should. It predates language, because when they say mankind, they're talking about a woman, a child, anyone. So I think the connotation of wording is the one that brings about this, can I say, inequality. So when you talk about man, you're talking about a woman. But when you talk about a woman, you're talking about just a woman only. That's what I think. Yeah.
Good thought. And what Bauman wrote here, that we started saying this saying, let's say, when people realize the value of credit. I agree. I have something else in mind now, but I won't say it. Anyone who would like to add, when do you think we started saying that behind every successful man, there is a woman hiding? By Nazifa?
I would like to say that when a baby is born, whether it's son or a daughter, there's mother who gives them birth, who always looks their needs, who always look after them, even after waking in the nights, the sleepless nights, and even supporting their children. There's a woman. She's mom. She's woman. And even after you grew up, no matter how old you are, your mom always thinks you're a child, and she will always support you, no matter what. And even after growing up, the man or even the person, they would like to have a very happy family, a very supportive better half, or supportive wife, supportive girlfriends, or even supportive children. Like some people even think like women or daughters are like blessings in their lives because they always support them no matter what they have. They will always present it to them. Even if she has some difficulties or others, she always supports her person. So I will think that from beginning to the end, woman is there for you to support. Thank you.
Nicely spoken, Sushma. Thank you.
I found out something here. They're saying it was first used in 1945.
Oh.
In the United States of America by someone called Mary Frost. Is a great woman from Texas newspaper, the Port Arthur News. That's when it was first written down.
Well, I would have thought it was earlier than that, 1945.
That's what I thought. 1945 was quite recent. It's quite recent.
After after World War II, going into the Korean War. Yeah, that's interesting. It's interesting.
Yeah.
Another question for you. We are talking about the 17 SDGs, which will hopefully be attained, let's say, by 2030. What do you think of SDG number 4, gender equality? How close are we there?
How close are we to any of the sustainable developmental goals?
That hurts a lot.
Yeah.
That hurts a lot. Are we even close to gender equality?
I think we might be closer to that than we are in many of the other areas.
Yeah, true.
But certainly not if you look at, how they're treated in some areas, what the pay is for equal, education and equal ability. Men usually receive more pay because they're the breadwinners of the family. But that's beginning to change too, because sometimes the female is there being the breadwinner and the male is home taking care of family. So those roles have reversed some. So we probably have made maybe a little bit more, success on that versus some of the other goals. But it still will take time. And understanding, really.
Yeah.
Any other ideas?
Okay. Coming close to that goal, I said how close we are to that sustainable goal, a sustainable development goal. Yeah, it is different in different parts of the world, obviously, maybe, and different part of society. Depends on the level of awareness, economic condition as well. So we can say we are closer to this, and I think perhaps it will always remain a debate in the human history, because since men and women, they are two different now there is a big difference between men and women, and we are trying to uplift women and make equal. And when a situation will come, they are closer to equality or something, again there will be some kinds of debates, discussions, or differences. Again there will be efforts to create differences, maybe I think like that. So it's an ongoing process, we got to make a good, happy and prosperous society, happy society. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you.
And actually, I think that no place around the world, even let's say the more developed countries, if I am allowed to say this, we are near towards a perfect gender equality. We are really, really too far from it yet. Too far. And the COVID came and revealed this side of society as well, because women had to both go to work and take care of their kids, or women had to stay at home and lose their jobs in order for men to keep on being the breadwinners of the family. So it was, I think, for some men, being able to go out and work is a matter of defining their masculinity, not a matter of, helping their family. It's a matter of still proving to themselves, to the other, that, hey, I'm the man here. I'm strong and can do anything I want. So, yeah.
Gogo, may I?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. What I believe is the concept of the contributions of the women behind the success of a man came with the education system that has been promoted even to the women. Like when the women empowered themselves. No, I love to use the term themselves now. When they empowered themselves and when they were seen to have been equally competent to the men, then the men of those times and even these days felt challenged. And I believe it's a kind of lollipop given to the women. No? Like, okay, you women, so behind the success of every man, there is a woman. So we have given you due respect. Now you can be quiet. Now, this is a kind of soothing capsule given to the women who tried to come for the protest for the equality. And it has been all, these days, the fight for the equality has been a kind of race, hoping against the hope. They have been coming up for more than a century. They have been trying to, asking for the equality in the sense of the job opportunities or the salaries or many others, but still, not just the developing countries, even the developed countries have not been able to materialize the promises that they have given to the women. So in the sense, this is a kind of tranquilizing pills for the women. Okay, so we have been respecting you. There is always, we have always been giving you a due tribute now, that you have always been a part of my success. Now you had better be quiet. Don't come for the protest, but keep on preparing very delicious meal for me in the kitchen. Keep on ironing my clothes. Keep on cleaning my dishes. See how much respect I have for you? So that's it. And still, a big number of women are lost, are hypnotized. They are bewitched with this kind of statements. However, there are a group of the revolutionary women who are not going to be satisfied with just the promises never to be met. Thank you very much.
I don't think I could have said it in a better way.
And with such humor.
Yeah, and apart from that, when we first, when we first given the right to vote, let's say, and we were considered, equal, as they said, and like Baman said, then we were equal because we were allowed to go out and work. But at the same time, I had to iron for my husband's clothes and feed my kids, etc. So where is equality? I could just go out and work. That's the only equal thing. So yeah, Baman rightly said they gave us this like a placebo, like, yes, you're being respected and admired, and yes, we consider you equal, but this is not the case. And of course, we should not forget the fact that there are always women who are, pulling at the other end of the rope. Hey, I'm equal, I'm even superior to you. So why don't you wash the dishes so that I can go out with my friends and have a drink? And this brings opposite results as well. So it's not only men who are to blame, it's also women. Being equal to someone means you stand here side by side. No one can be here.
That's right. Side by side. And that's interesting, Emmanuel. I didn't realize that they finally won their case in court about the basketball team trying to get equality in the way they were treated and paid over the men, and that they won. That's good. I didn't realize they had finally managed to win that case. So that's a step too. Yeah. Any other stuff? This has been a fascinating discussion with lots of ideas, humor, talking about how things aren't changing, and just a lot of fun to get the different ideas from people from the different countries. Because it's true, it is very different in different countries. For example, when I did visit Nepal and lived there, I sat down with my host, Pradeep, who is like my second son and his family, and I love them dearly. And we were served by the women, and sitting around the table, I was the only woman there. Her kids were there, and the men were there. And then the women went off to eat someplace else. I said, well, where are they going? Why aren't they eating with us? And Manuka's son said, oh, they eat after us. They serve us and they eat after us. And I said, well, they don't do that while I'm here, because if that's true, then I shouldn't be sitting here and eating with you. So the long and the short is that entire community now, they don't do that. We all eat together. The women and the men help serve and help cook, and and it was a beautiful thing. It was a change. I wasn't trying to change the way of thinking. It was really doing what? Asking a question, why? Okay. Was she less than you? Oh, no, my mother's an educator. She's a this. Then why isn't she respected the same as you? And that in itself created a big change. And I think that that's really what we should do. You can't change things if we don't ask questions. Why? And then try to find the answers. Because that's how we learn. Anybody else? This was delightful. I had a wonderful time. Did you guys have a good time? You guys, that's a saying here in America, meaning guys and girls.
Yes, I did have a great time here.
Oh, good. Rizuko, you're very quiet there. Did you have fun?
Yes, I heard some different thoughts from some different countries, and everyone has different situation in their own countries. I'm glad.
What about Japan?
Honestly, there is a difference between male and female. So usually men get more salary than women in the same rank or same company. Mm-hmm. But it's normal. But women have to women don't have agree with the situation, I think.
Yeah. The wife needs to take meals on their greasy plate that are, well, I don't know. Are we good to go forward and celebrate mankind? Okay, celebrate mankind. Equally walking side by side.
I have a question now. Why is there an International Women's Day and not an International Men's Day? What does this tell us about our society? It still means that we should remind ourselves that women do matter in our lives and should be respected the same way that men do. That's what I understand. There is no International Men's Day. There is a Father's Day.
Mm-hmm. There's a Father's Day and a Mother's Day.
Yeah, but not a Men's Day. Mm-hmm. Exactly. This means that men are always celebrated every day of our lives. Maybe.
That's what it means. Every day is a man's day. That's what it means.
Exactly. Exactly.
Patriarchal society. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Exactly. Unfortunately. Anyway. Yeah.
But again, I wanted to say something about that. Women equality has something to do with women empowerment. And an empowered woman, first of all, needs resources, she needs information, and she needs to know where to go when she needs a service. For example, if a woman is a victim of gender violence, if she's poor, she won't go out to seek out for redress. Number two, she won't know that it's illegal for a man to slap her, for example. So women need information. They need access to psychosocial support. They need they need to network with other women who are empowered across the aisle, different countries. So, for example, here in Uganda, if a woman, we have women who think their husbands have a right to beat them when they make a mistake, and they're okay with it. So that's why it is.
True. That's true, Emmanuel. Thank you.
So that brings us to education then. It's not a matter of being equal. You should educate women that they shouldn't accept this fact. They shouldn't accept things like that. Yeah. Continuous women empowerment. Yes, Jonan, that's it. We should try to empower women and educate them. This is a natural right, the right by birth, actually.
Yeah. I guess that's why I've always said of all the sustainable goals, there's really only one. And all of the rest fall underneath that. And the main goal is education. Towards all areas and all fields, we need to educate people towards what's going on in life, and all people, young, old, male, female. Education is really the key, I believe, to being able to solve the other sustainable developmental goals.
Yeah. Very true. I wanted to ask something. Can I ask?
Yes, of
course.
Do you people know about something called, have you heard of bride price?
I didn't get it.
Yeah, can you repeat the question?
Have you heard about something called the bride price? Or I need to explain something more about it?
Can you put that word in the chat box? See it.
Bride, then price.
Bride, B-R-I-D.
Bride price. This is
bride price, where you have to pay to buy a bride.
Yes, right there. So, what do you think about it? Because there's a general local understanding here. If someone pays some money at a woman's place, it seems that it looks like they've bought that person as their property, and they feel like they can do anything to them. So, what do you think about that?
Yeah, nobody should have to. I mean, isn't that the same thing as slavery, which we're trying to abolish, regardless of what color, whatever? That the slave owners would buy these slaves and then think that they were their property and could treat them and do whatever they wanted to them. And we tried to abolish bad. It is slavery. No, I don't think anybody should. And I know that in countries, they have to come with big dowries, that they have to have this or that.
No.
Dowry, yeah.
Again, we need to be on an equal side by side. That's how we'll accomplish more. As soon as we try to think that we are better than they or they are better than us, look at what happens. Isn't that back to the bullying? Isn't that back to what's going on in some countries now? One country thinks I'm better, so I can go in and I can take you over and I can make you do what I want you to do. It's not right. It's just not right.
Jonah has raised, yeah, but I don't know why.
On that point of gender of bride price, I found it in South Sudan, whereby they pay a heavy bride price, very heavy, and the parents themselves, they normally tell their girls that we have given you this girl at an expensive. In an expensive way, but the girl has to work like like a camel. Yeah. So I think regulation of the bride price, especially there, should be key, not to make a man to overpay. When a man overpays the bride price, then can exploit the woman that I paid you much. Yeah.
Perhaps I shouldn't be paying anything. Isn't being a bride or a husband or a marriage, shouldn't that be sort of both sides choosing that this is something that you want to do and to move forward together in life?
No, I thought maybe bride price simply means that it's an appreciation, not like buying someone. Even that price, I think, should be removed from the bride. Bride price should be removed because it's a bride, but it's an appreciation, Just an appreciation to the parents for raising a person.
Yeah, it's like a dowry. You have to pay parents so much dowry to marry, and you think about what a waste of money that is. When in fact, shouldn't they together use that money to be able to create and build their life together?
I think this has its roots in the real past, because in Greece also we had dowry, as they write here, because men were considered to be the breadwinners of the family. So woman had only one way to chip in the family, and that was her dowry. It could be either blankets or sheets or plates or some money. Raised for her by her parent, or fields, etc. So in this way,
animals, cows, goats.
anything that would help the new family, begin. And so maybe a marriage would not go ahead if the groom or the matchmaker between the two people did not agree on the price. It wasn't a matter of price, but not as it is in Africa. Today, well, this notion does not exist anymore. However, parents of women and men try to to split their possessions equally to all their kids, because when you're dead, you can't take with you anything. Neither money, nor animals, nor fields, or anything. But dowry, yes, used to exist in Greece as well. Anyway, I've learned so many things today, actually.
I did too.
And now I realize that we didn't record it.
I know. I was thinking that before too, which is a shame. I didn't realize we were running it, so it would have been nice to have recorded the reading.
Hey, we can arrange another session with a different script. I think all these attendants here, participants, are really eager.
We can. That's true. And we have Scrabble Poker, the Scrabble Club Poker, who invited us to come and write a script and share with us our ideas of International Women's Day. So I want to thank Keisha and the club for inviting us to join with them.
Aman, we're still here. Keisha is not. I'll send him later a thank you note.
Yes.
So finally, it all boils down to educating both men and women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else. Education. And everything is solved, I guess.
I can't agree with you more indeed now. It's the education that definitely supports us to create a harmonious society. Like whether if we go for like Men's Day, okay, respect the men, or Women's Day, then Women's Day. So what happens to the LGBTQIs then? So if you go for Men's Day, Women's Day, then you are, in a sense, discriminating the other group of people who truly deserve the right to live and share the community indeed. No? So I believe that this is how, like when we are tagging a certain gender, I mean, in a kind of traditionally, through the traditional mindset, then we are trying to go back to the Stone Age. We are never trying to inculcate the 21st century skills in our students. And it's all bogus to say that we are 21st century teachers. Now, truly, whether you are a male or a female, respect everyone around you and live and let live. That's what is the true message for us. And the Scrabble Club Pokhara is really proud to have these two friends who have accepted our invitation to be the speakers in today's program. And it's not the invitation indeed. This is a kind of group work. And I don't call that Scrabble Club Pokhara belongs to Nepal. It's everyone's club. Because this is the platform that everyone can sense the ownership. This is not somebody's, this is not in somebody's pocket, but it's in everybody's heart. And it's what, I feel really proud to see the people coming from different parts of the globe and sharing the opinions. And of course, through this kind of discussions, we have seen the very young learners coming ahead and making some kind of arguments on some critical issues. And this is a true motive of the teachers community that we are trying to create through Scrabble Club Pokhara. And thank you very much, Tracy and Georgia, for being here and for wonderful moderation too. Thank you.
Well, thank you for letting GMRT and the Global Matrix Readers Theater share what we do. We love it because it does bring about the opportunity to meet different people, to support each other, to learn from each other, and to continue to educate in as you said, Bevan, in a different way. Nobody's sitting up here telling you everything. We talk and we share together. I think that's really what learning is all about. And I just want to thank them for giving us that opportunity.
So I guess we need to close this session, let's say, by saying thank you to everyone. I hope. Tell me, Baman, go on.
Deepak sir, do you have any final words on behalf of Scrabble Club Pokhara? And then Georgia can be giving a click to end it up. Tracy, here there. Wonderful. Back to you.
Okay, the final word is thanks to all for being together and celebrating the Women's Day first time in different way in my life. With some contribution. It's called a contribution, knowledge contribution, discussion, and international forum, connecting different continents. We are connecting now different continents together and talking together. So that's how we can make a globe a common village for all of us. Thank you for being together.
Thank you, everybody. enjoy the rest of your day. And we'll see you all again soon, I hope.
Thank you so much for your active participation.
Yes.
It was
Bye.
great. I'm the host and I don't want to be the host. Who wants, when do I turn the host rights? Bauman, should I leave the room, close the room or not?
Yeah, you have better go ahead that way.
I can do it. Okay.
That could be a perfect idea.
Sorry. Deepak, give it to Deepak.
Yeah, no, that's a perfect idea. You can simply end it up.
Okay, all right. So thank you, everyone. Happy International Women's Day. Happy International Humanity Day.
There you go. Bye.
See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
I had a great time with you guys.
Bye.
Bye.